One Zambia, one nation. Welcome to Zanis News and thank you for joining us. I'm Alice Banda to be with you. Let's take a look at the stories making headlines. President Higa calls for vibrant civil service. ZAF acquires farming equipment. Government happy with construction of chiefs' palaces. Plus, Zambia mints gold medal at 2023 All Africa Games. The news in detail. President Hakainde has sworn in newly appointed Civil Service Commission Chairperson Jolwe Beyani. Mr. Beyani takes over from Peter Mumba, who was recently appointed as Minister of Energy Permanent Secretary. The president has since called for a vibrant civil service biased towards deliverables. Kalan Mchima brings us the details.
One by one, they take the oath of allegiance before President Hakainde when he saw them in various capacities at State House. Those sworn in include the newly appointed Civil Service Commission Chairperson, Jolwe Beyani, who takes over from Peter Mumba, who was recently appointed as Energy Permanent Secretary.
Working with the Secretary to the Cabinet, we would like a more sharper public sector. A public sector that doesn't see work meaning 8 hours to 17 hours. I've been saying this for a long time. And I'm observing, I'm looking, I'm checking. I fight with him and his two deputies, positive fights, that work is not reporting for work in the office. Work is deliverables. Chairman of the Public Service Commission, Civil Service Commission. Work is not reporting at the office. Work is deliverables.
The president has also conferred the status of State Council on 5 learned legal councils. Those conferred with the status of State Council include Speaker of the National Assembly Nelly Muti, Home Affairs and Internal Security Minister Jack Mwimbu, Electoral Commission of Zambia Chairperson Mwangala Zalomes, Lawyer Kondo Chibia, and Lawyer Ashad Dudia.
Today marks a pivotal moment for us as a nation where justice is rule of law first. Rule of law, justice must prevail in our society. Orderliness, just general orderliness. Today you carry an additional responsibility. And as I say to many Zambians, responsibility comes with accountability, a burden to carry that responsibility diligently, to be able to assist the country to maintain this orderliness, to assist the country to dispense justice, as we always say, timely, fairly, with compassion, as state councils.
The president has also sworn in newly appointed Drug Enforcement Commission, DEC Deputy Director General, Beatrice Mpanga. Further, the head of state has appointed and sworn in Father Joe Komakoma as Commissioner at the Human Rights Commission, and Ambassador Lazarus Kapambwe, who has been sworn in as Special Envoy to the President.
And I'm saying to the Anti-Corruption Commission, Drug Enforcement Commission, DPP, to the police, all the prosecutors, we should not rush to arresting people before we investigate. I repeat, let people have their rights. Father Komakoma wants to see that everybody enjoys their rights. So before we malign, rein in on somebody, let's do our investigations. And only when we are satisfied, we can effect an arrest.
The president also used this occasion to reiterate his statement that no one will go hungry despite the country experiencing one of the worst droughts ever. Vice President Mtalona Lumango also attended the swearing-in ceremony. Kalan Mchima reporting for Zanis in Osaka.
And Minister of Water Development and Sanitation Mike Mposha has called for speedy and effective implementation of policies aimed at promoting water security in the country. Speaking at the Water Investment Program Resource Mobilization Strategy meeting in Lusaka, Mr. Mposha says there is need to reduce on time and bureaucracy as the country responds to the prolonged drought crisis. Sunday Walia brings us this report.
With the prolonged drought the country is currently facing, people and animals, among others, have been faced with water challenges. For this reason, Minister of Water Development and Sanitation, Mike Mposha, has called for a speedy and robust implementation of policies in his ministry, among other sectors, to effectively invest in water resources.
I want to, again here, appeal to our officers, PS, our technical teams, to ensure that time is of great essence. We cannot continue with the usual traditional protocols because we have a disaster before us. But even before the drought, even before this disaster was declared, we know that we've been grappling with big challenges in the sector, ranging from low tariffs, high non-revenue water. So we cannot continue with the same protocols, the same long time frames. Now is the time to ensure that we respond quickly. We need to shorten our timelines. It can never be business as usual. You see the effects of these droughts beyond food production, beyond the energy production. It's going to affect our aquaculture. It's going to affect livestock. We are likely to have a serious deficit in terms of pasture for our livestock or stock feed. So it is important that whatever we do in responding to this disaster, we must be mindful that we must do this within the shortest possible time.
And Minister of Green Economy and Environment, Collins Nzovu, has called for adequate investment in water harvesting projects.
You people know that the rain season is coming, and if we're going to do any dams at all, we have to start now. So help us construct those dams as quickly as we can. So I think the message is very, very clear. We have no time. And by the way, with climate change and with the conditions we are at right now, and compare with the conditions we were last year, you can only say the situation is getting worse. If we do not water harvest now, for irrigation, for domestic supply, there will be more problems. Our GDP will not grow.
Meanwhile, various stakeholders in the promotion of water in the country shared their views.
As we plan for these resources, Honourable Minister, I appeal that water investments for key populations should be prioritized, including the 2 million Zambians that reside in 20 of the priority areas for multi-sectoral interventions that currently are characterized by poor access to water.
We wish to call upon all stakeholders to facilitate increased private sector investments through support for sector reforms, guarantees and de-risking instruments, and creating an innovative public-private financing mechanism to mobilize investments for implementation of the priority projects and initiatives, not only in the Zambia Water Investment Program, but of those agent priority projects which are being discussed to deal with the drought crisis.
This high-level meeting of players in the water sector will no doubt devise solutions to mitigate the water challenges the country is experiencing. For Zanis in Lusaka, I am Sunday Walia.
Now, Minister of Agriculture Permanent Secretary for Administration, Green Mbozi, has called for more collaboration between the public and private sector in agriculture research and promotion of climate-smart agriculture. Mr. Mbozi made the call in a speech read on his behalf by Zambia Agriculture Research Institute, ZARI, Director Dickson Muni, during the tour of field trials in Chongwe, Kabeleka village. Audrey Kalenga was in Chongwe and now reports.
In an effort to mitigate the adverse impact of climate change, government, in partnership with the private sector, have been working around the clock to find different seed varieties and chemicals that are resistant to drought and other crop-threatening diseases such as the fall armyworm. In Chongwe District, Simbog, a biotechnology company, has distributed the resin mycorrhiza to farmers in Kabeleka village under the Shellen Agriculture Camp. The chemical contributes to water efficiency, reduced pollution, and better soil quality while promoting healthier plant growth.
This crop is good, this chemical is fine. And the other point is it is drought resistant crop. The crop also, the chemicals are good for resistance of diseases.
Here, Minister of Agriculture Permanent Secretary for Administration Green Mbozi was represented by Zambia Agriculture Research Institute Director Dickson Ngoni.
The positive results we have witnessed during this tour demonstrates the impact of public-private sector collaboration in agricultural research and the promotion of climate-smart agriculture. I therefore wish to commend the Zambia Agriculture Research Institute, Simbog, Albida, and other parties present here today for embracing smart and sustainable agricultural practices.
Many farmers don't understand what is a glomus, what is a fungus, this kind of fungus, mycorrhiza. The glomus, the fungus, is helping to the root, to the plant, to increase the roots. So if the plant have a bigger roots, the plant can take more nutrient from the soil and spread the soil and take water and nutrient where before they can arrive.
Meanwhile, Chongwe District Agriculture Officer Jen Kawunda has thanked the company for rolling out the trial in her district.
As a district, we are delighted to have been picked to showcase the efficacy of this product that we are looking at today. So we are very delighted and happy to have hosted this trial as Chongwe.
The trials are being carried out in 5 provinces in the country. Audrey Kalenga for Zanis in Chongwe.
Meanwhile, the Zambia Air Force, ZAF, has acquired tractors, farming implements, and a fleet of Bell 412 EP helicopters. This follows President Hakainde Hichilema's directive during the recent national address for the defense wings to scale up agriculture production due to the drought that has hit the country. Lakson Makosa reports that ZAF has also acquired an additional 14,000 hectares of farmland.
Barely 2 weeks after President Hakainde Hichilema directed the defense wings to scale up agricultural production in the wake of looming hunger induced by drought, the defense wings have responded to the presidential directive and has since acquired an additional 14,000 acres of farmland, farming equipment, and implements. ZAF Air Force is the custodian of the newly acquired tractors and farming equipment, which is going to be used in growing winter maize to secure the country's food security. The Minister of Defense, Ambrose Lufuma, was on hand to launch the newly acquired farming equipment. In gracing the handover ceremony, Mr. Lufuma said he was pleased with the commitment and dedication demonstrated by ZAF to actively participate in securing the country's food security.
It warms my heart to see the proactive measures being taken by the Zambia Air Force to address the urgent need for food security. The decision of actively engage in agriculture, even before the directive from the President, is a clear demonstration of the Air Force Command's commitment to the well-being of our citizens and their readiness to contribute beyond their traditional duties.
And ZAF Air Force Commander stated that the newly procured agricultural equipment is in response to the urgent need for food security in the face of the prevailing drought situation.
as we join in answering to the urgent need for food security in the face of a prevailing drought crisis, the mission to actively engage in agriculture is a response to the pressing issue of hunger and demonstrates our loyalty to the well-being of our nation.
Meanwhile, speaking earlier, ZAF advisor, farm projects to the commander, pledged to use the farming equipment productively.
We want to assure you and to assure the Air Force Command that we shall utilize the newly acquired equipment to the fullest and pledge to take care of it, as we are mindful of the costs that government has placed on this very expensive equipment.
At the same occasion, the Minister of Defense also inducted a fleet of Bell 412EP helicopters into service. For Zanis, I'm Lakson Makodza.
We continue with the news. Senior Chief Mushota of the Chishinga people of Kawambwa District has expressed concern over the delay by the Sunbbio Bioenergy Cassava project to start production. Senior Chief Mushota was speaking when a team from the Ministry of Energy, led by Energy Regulation Board Acting Northern Region Senior Manager Davis Mopenda, paid a courtesy call at his palace. Lewis Changwe brings us this report.
The Sunbbio Bioenergy project in Kawambwa District, which started in 2017, gave a lot of hope to the local people. However, the pace at which the company is operating has worried Senior Chief Mushota of the Chinga people in Kawambwa District.
Bambia batulenge ensoni ni ba Sunbbio. Ba Sunbbio hapo twabaperera ilyampanga. Bali mas 300 hectares ukulima tute. Baba liepo 30 hectares tababala abasombolapo. Bushe abapanga mafuta ya gwensheni otoka na fimbi. Tabaishiwa balia na pamansa gula boko batwala tute. Numba ba Sunbbio bali chilo uti abachitecho.
And when visited by a team from ERB and the Ministry of Energy, Director Agriculture for Sunbbio Bioenergy Project, Mark Muchinga, explains what the company has done so far.
Today we are sitting at about 1,750, and then we've got a base of farmers of about registered 5,000. Am I right, Emmanuel? Yes, about 5,000, and then active about 1,500. We have really moved. We've been growing on a daily basis, and as you can see, we're well supported with the rains here, and then we do have good support from our friends, like our partners. So as we are now, we are in the process of doing the factory. So very soon we should be processing the ethanol.
Lewis Changwe, Zanis, Kawambwa, Luapula Province.
Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Gary Nkombo, has handed over 9 constituency development fund CDF projects in Chinsali district implemented at a cost of over 10 million kwacha. The projects include a mortar grader procured at a cost of 3.1 million kwacha. Pamela Inambao, who attended the handover ceremony, filed in this report.
Government has remained committed in restoring decency for traditional leaders through construction of suitable offices and residential areas for chiefs. In Muchinga province, the construction of various chief palaces are currently underway. And Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Gary Nkombo, who was recently in Chinsali district, took time to check on the works at Senior Chief Nkula's palace.
Could never be a decision better than this, in my view. For sure. And I'm sure that going forward, once we finish this program, the Royal Highnesses will be living with the dignity that they deserve, and program to make sure that we get this side of things done and look at other things going into the future was a noble one. It could not have come at a better time than this. We must continue to support our local people, PS. We must encourage. This is very good because you can imagine, the money that has circulated is within Chinsali.
And Senior Chief Nkula expressed gratitude to government for the construction of chiefs' palaces.
So grateful. We are very optimistic that very soon, when people want to see me, they will have somewhere to sit and wait for me to meet them. I like sitting under the truss. They want to meet the Royal Highness. So this is a great achievement on the part of government and the people themselves.
Meanwhile, the Zambia Correctional Service, engaged to carry out the works, gave an update on how the works are going on in all the 8 palaces in the province.
Elsewhere, it's at the same place, because the idea is to have everything. Yes,
Yeah.
8. All the 8 palaces, that's from Pika to Nakonde, it's at the same place, and we are running for September.
The minister also visited Nkula Primary School, whose 1x2 classroom block was constructed under the 2022 CDF at a cost of over 300,000 kwacha.
Grateful that we benefited from CDF as a school, and I promise that I, the school, and the entire community will look after it so that it outlives us, to benefit the children, to have a quality learning place like this one.
Obviously now we may have an influx, and the more we have an influx, the more we get to know what the needs truly are. And so we'll continue to address them as we get along. This is pleasing. It is very nice. It is refreshing.
Pamela Inamba reporting for Zanis in Chinsali, Muchinga Province.
About 2,700 students of Northern Technical College, being sponsored through the Constituency Development Fund, CDF, have thanked government for the opportunity to acquire skills which will help improve their livelihoods. NOTEC Principal Martin Kasonso says the institution is also making progress on finding lasting solutions to load shedding through electronic innovations. Mary Chola has the rest of the story.
Constituency Development Fund sponsored students at Northern Technology have thanked government for the empowerment opportunity. The students are optimistic that after the training, they will become the change in their communities.
It's really a game changer in terms of youth empowerment, because we have a lot of youths that were wandering in the streets, but since the introduction of CDF, we have students in school, they're able to acquire skills.
One of the CDF sponsored students. I'm doing laboratory science at NOTEC, and I'm from Ron constituency. CDF has really made a lot of difference for all of us, especially where I'm coming from Ron. Ron is a small community which has a very huge number of young youth who are lacking education. But with the coming of CDF, it has really changed a lot of youth, especially in our community.
NOTEC principal noted that the empowerment has given students renewed hope.
I think what the students have demonstrated today is really unprecedented, and it's because of the new hope that the students have, that they can now change their lives, that they can better their lives, that they can better their families, that they can better their communities, that they can make a difference in this nation, because now they are being empowered with skills that can make a difference in this country, that can empower them to be able to be economically stable, economically able to contribute to the welfare of this nation.
The institution is making progress with innovations.
Now, what we are seeing here at this stand is also a demonstration that when young people are properly supported, they can come up with innovations that can help contribute to the national development. Right now we are talking about load shedding. Load shedding, some people may complain, but to us as an institution, we look at it as an opportunity to find solutions to load shedding, an opportunity for us to innovate. So now as students, as an institution, we need to research for better solutions on how we can save power, how we can store energy, how we can convert energy. Those are now the ideas that we're now going to start generating as an institution. Some of the projects that you have seen here, we are talking about the electric vehicle battery. We are now talking about how can we charge the electrical vehicle battery using wireless systems, so that as the vehicle is moving, it's continuously charging itself. When it's parked in a mall, it's charging, because electric vehicles are coming in this nation. So we need now to start positioning ourselves.
Constituency Development Fund has continued to improve the lives of the youths in the country. Mary Chola for Zanis in Ndola.
More in the news. Chinsali District in Chinga Province has recorded an improvement in the actualization of inclusive education for persons living with disabilities. District Education Standards Officer Roderick Katongo says government and its cooperating partners have been supporting inclusive education for the physically challenged through various interventions. Here are the details.
As government continues to make significant efforts in actualizing equity and equality for persons with disabilities in society, in the education sector, it has made commendable strides to ensure that persons with disabilities enjoy education services through inclusive education. In Chisali District, this objective has since been realized through the cooperating partners such as Site Saver Zambia and the European Union, who have strengthened sensitization programs on inclusive education in the area. Chinsali District Education Standards Officer Roderick Katongo says the education sector has recorded an improvement in the actualization of inclusive education in the district.
As you know, these people are marginalized in society. They are not considered as human beings in terms of how they are supposed to live. But luckily enough, under the new dawn, we have received 99% of attention towards people with disabilities. So we are likely urging the government that they should pay much attention to these people so that when they are giving these opportunities, they should use the equation of equity than equality.
And one of the teachers from Kabongo Primary School has since called on government to continue engaging stakeholders in supporting inclusive education.
I appeal to the government that they should just bring on board a lot of NGOs so that they help our learners, especially these learners that we have in rural areas. We are in rural areas and we have a few schools. Like for Chinsali, we only have one special school.
Henry Lumpa Jr., Zanis in Chinsali, Muchinga Province.
From Chinga Province, we move to Western Province, where government has constructed and handed over 2 classroom blocks at Nkeema's Secondary and the first ever permanent structure at Mawombo Primary School, respectively. The classroom blocks were constructed at a cost of over 1 million kwacha under the 2023 Constituency Development Fund, CDF. Details in this report.
The government continues to score high in infrastructure development in the education sector as it realizes that education is an equalizer in society. Mabombo Primary School in Nkeema District, whose mud and poor structures used as classroom were a health hazard, is testament to unprecedented development in the district. Pupils here had nothing to motivate them to go to school, but today the community receives a shot in the arm as government hands over the first ever 1x3 fully furnished classroom block. Earlier, another 1x3 classroom block at Munkuya Secondary School was handed over to the USA department. Both projects have cost government over 1 million kwacha. Western Province Minister Kaperwa Mbangweta, who is also Nkeema Member of Parliament, graces both occasions.
All these projects which the councillor, which the council chairman has indicated, have been funded from the taxes that you have been paying. Through this project of desks, we have created employment also because those desks are being made by children of Munkuye.
Nkeema Council Secretary Dr. Moses Mutioka reveals the accomplishments and other district officials present at the event art.
This project has costed a total amount of 640,000 kwacha. And we, on top of that one, we have dressed it with 65 desks. Minister, I also want to inform you that we are seriously in the process of ensuring that all the projects are completed.
But let me assure you, Honorable Minister, that we are not going to allow those contractors who are failing our duties.
Pupils are thankful to government for the gesture.
I'd like to thank government for building this classroom 1/3 because long time ago we didn't have class. We were just using the 4 classes.
Since 2021, Nkeema District has so far successfully handed over 40 projects and spent over 50 million kwacha under CDF. Mutinta Mbagwe, Zanis in Nkeema District.
We continue with the news. A youth representative in Lun District has thanked government for initiating many opportunities which promote the inclusion of young people in the development agenda. Hudson Kabwe says the introduction of free education from grade 1 to grade 12 and the skills and bursaries component under the Constituency Development Fund CDF has enabled many youths to go back to school. Here are the details.
Youths in Lun District have today turned up in numbers to commemorate this year's Youth Day under the theme Zambia at 60, Be the Change. And Lun District Youth Representative Hudson Kabwe has thanked government for initiating many developmental projects being undertaken in the district, but has an appeal to make.
Lack of skills training centers. In Lun District, youths have to travel out of district to access training centers in various skills. 3, as a district, we feel it could be important to come up with the district radio station, where as youths we can air out our views in terms of development and matters affecting the general citizen. Though Lunte is connected to the national grid, most of schools have no power. Therefore, as students, it's difficult to start.
Lun District Commissioner Joseph Chilando officiated at the event, which was also attended by Lun Town Council Chairperson.
The New Dawn government will continue to support young people in various sectors of the economy. Therefore, there is need for you, youths, the young people, to come up with progressive ideas, innovations, technology in order to transform our district. Remember, you must be the change in your family, in your district, in your province, and in your country as a whole.
The Department of Health in the district have called on everyone in the district to address the rampant issue of drug abuse and mental health that continues to be a huge problem among youths. Reporting for Zanis, Sylvia Zulu in Lun District.
And in Luapula Province, Mansa District Commissioner Irene Chivweta has urged youths to take advantage of platforms that avail sharing of information on various opportunities such as empowerment. Ms. Chivweta said this when she officiated at the 2024 Integrated Youth Development IYZ organized Youth Indaba in Mansa as part of Youth Day activities. We have more in this report.
Youths in Mansa have held an Indaba at Spita Center where they shared various ideas over issues that concern them. Officiating the event, Mansa District Commissioner had this to say.
And other national opportunities which will enable the youth to be productive and not dependent. I extend my appreciation to each one of you, representing various government sectors, organizations, community groups, health care professionals, educators, civil society, organizations, and advocates who have committed themselves to the critical task of developing our youth in various ways.
Integrated Youth Development Chief Executive Officer says the 2024 Youth Gathering is the fourth annual Indaba his organization is facilitating as an opportunity for young people or youths with the government and other key stakeholders to discuss issues centered on adolescents and youths in general.
And share strategies on innovation and youth programs and allow youth to realize their full potential for sustainable Zambia.
Various key stakeholders addressed the youth.
The youth like us in here, we need to stay away from drugs. If we want to become that which we plan to become, we need to have a goal-driven behavior. Set your goals, actualize your potential, and then you also need to have high self-esteem, believe in yourself. When you believe in yourself, you set principles. Once those principles are set, you say, I'll never smoke marijuana in my life. I'll never take alcohol whilst at school. So you can see from the percentages that I was mentioning earlier in terms of adolescent-friendly health services provision, we can therefore say that the government of the Republic of Zambia has made very important strides in the provision of adolescent health-friendly services to our communities, especially in public health facilities. However, the private health facilities were lagging behind in the provision of these services, and it's very important that government provides the policy guideline in terms of provision of these services across board.
To be road safety conscious. Even as you go back home, back to your communities, you are our ambassadors. Explain to people, explain to the community.
For Zanis in Mansa.
Beneficiaries of the Social Cash Transfer Program in Kasama District have thanked government for its consistency with the payment. Benny Mulenga, who is one of the beneficiaries, says government has been consistent in paying beneficiaries, which has allowed them to plan and invest the money productively.
These are some of the beneficiaries of the Social Cash Transfer Program in Kasama District who have come to receive their bi-monthly payments for January and February 2024. Mukukas Kapite is one of the beneficiaries and explains how he is utilizing the funds. Those with children who are sick explain how they are using the funds to take care of them.
Umbi umwana kashina wali peno wakonkana no yala kyala abana njula pena bopano maleri nendi nakanyelo kale yapula ka mwana munyino yuine nali chule chine nomba mwe buteko ndeto tela bafyo muleji tandeto tela ndina panshi ndekungula bana bandire sale mbala
ndi mumufayiro twakulya eriyo namufaya kono twakufwala muri shine mpia shiranga fusha kumwana.
The Social Cash Transfer Program is also helping beneficiaries to have decent accommodation.
Shindala mashifiri okunsunga nashita moka plot na kula kayanda nashita kono otumarata nabanandi bwense balefuka shindala bafiri okushibika mukukonfya kona ku business sha kulundulula wasangira mu kumu watotera ku butekwa ati mwabombe nindi pashinde kunkula
impia ya Social Cash Transfer ila twafuirisha sana mu bwikalo bwesu bandi kuti yakwafuisha mukutita business ngefine yangafako mukuteke enkoko tateke enkoko so ile twafa sana katureto tera sana kuliba kateka wesu akonkanye po kutwafa.
Reporting for Zanis in Kasama, I'm Jafet Munkondia.
Back to Northern Province. 20 families of Loti village in Senior Chieftainess Chungu's chiefdom in Lupososhi district have been left homeless after their houses were destroyed by a hailstorm. The hailstorm, which happened on Sunday, also damaged shops and other infrastructure in the area. Lupososhi District Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit DMMU Coordinator Leviticus Kabwe, who undertook an assessment of the damage, says a total of 18 structures have completely collapsed. Meanwhile, Bridget Msonda, one of the affected persons, has bemoaned the damage caused to her house, which she constructed after the death of her husband. We end the news with a sports item. Judoka Stephen Mungandu has become the first athlete to mint gold at the ongoing 2023 All-Africa Games in Ghana. Mungandu defeated Tunisia's Aziz Habi in the 66 kg men's category and became the first Zambian to win gold. Despite starting the games on a low note, Zambia has in the past few days reaped some medals, which has excited fans. Swimmer Mia Piri was the first to win a bronze medal after coming out third in the women's 50 meters backstroke with a splendid 29.17 seconds before Mungandu won the utmost prize. Meanwhile, Simon Zulu has also secured the country's second medal in judo, clinching bronze after defeating Michael Agbo of Nigeria. National Olympic Committee of Zambia President Alfred Foloko and Vice President of the African Judo Union presented the gold medal to Mungando. Minister of Youth, Sport and Arts Elvis Nkandu has congratulated Mungando for his historic record of becoming the first Zambian judoka to reach an African Games final and eventually being crowned winner. As we end the news, a recap of stories that made headlines. President Hichilema calls for vibrant civil service. ZAF acquires farming equipment. Government happy with construction of chiefs' palaces. Plus, Zambia mints gold medal at 2023 All Africa Games. On that note, we end Zanis News. On behalf of the entire Zanis production team, I'm Alice Banda saying goodbye and God bless you.